This is without a doubt the most disturbing and unnecessary act I have seen while making videos on this platform. And the fact it hasn't consumed the 24-hour news cycle is equally disgusting, and I think I know why. But Sonya Massey deserves justice. So all that being said, welcome to the point. Let's get to it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This story has more red flags than a theme park and a huge elephant in the room that most people want to avoid. But that's not what we do here, and if fair coverage and an open conversation is something you prefer, subscribe to this channel and hit that like button down below. Because on July 6th, Sonya Massey just wanted help. You see, it was just after midnight when Sonya called law enforcement to report a suspected intruder on her property. So let's break this video down before we address the real issues. When law enforcement arrives, they start out doing exactly what they should. They check the property, all areas and all corners to make sure nobody is there. And when they find a vehicle with a damaged window but nobody on the premises, they approach Sonya's door to let her know that they've arrived and they don't see anybody on the property. Now this is the first issue to me. Sonya clearly says, "Don't hurt me." And Sean Grayson's reply is, "You called us." Why couldn't he just say, "I wouldn't do that to you," or "We're here to help"? It should be obvious to everybody, because it's obvious to me. At this particular point, she is worried and she is nervous. And compassion and understanding can go a long way in these situations. And keep in mind, it has been reported Sonya has some issues with her mental health, which isn't an excuse.
So what'd you hear?
Somebody just outside my house, y'all.
Is this your car over here?
Please.
Is this your car over here? Oh.
Please,
That's not your black car in the driveway? Oh, well, we checked your yard, we walked around the whole block, we didn't see anybody. Right, we checked the whole area, there's nobody out walking around.
I know, y'all. Please, God. I'm trying to get help, y'all, but...
What do you need help with?
Nothing. Please, God. I don't know what to do.
Do with what?
Huh?
What do you need help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
What do you want help with?
Huh?
What do you want help with?
I heard somebody outside.
Yeah, we checked your house, we checked your backyard. I walked all the way through all these backyards. We checked your front yard. We didn't see nobody, so nobody's out here.
You didn't see anybody?
Nope.
No.
We checked the whole area.
Okay.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry. I was trying to get...
I gotcha. All right. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Huh?
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
So we know right now they're aware of her mental health. She clearly answered Grayson saying she had medicine, and he clearly asked her, "Is everything okay mentally?" And she makes the statement she doesn't know whose car that is.
All right. That's not your black car, though. The SUV? Whose is it? You don't know? Someone just parked it in your driveway?
They brought it to my driveway.
And just left it? Yeah, let's run back. Yeah. 19, I got a 20 clear. Does anyone else live here with you?
Somebody else.
But Grayson continues to push the issue. And in my opinion, none of these follow-up questions should have been asked, nor were they necessary. Now I understand law enforcement found a car with a busted window, but give me a break here. And before anybody replies, they have to ask, "Let me stop you." Because Sean noticed issues with her mental health. She acknowledged she was on medicine for her mental health. So how factual is the information going to be from an individual who's already noticeably nervous and suffering from mental health problems? I mean, honestly, snap a picture of those plates and run that information through your system. That'll clearly tell you who owns the car.
You got a name? You got an ID or something? Take your name real quick. Attach this. See who we spoke to. Okay.
Hello? Yeah, I need, I got the sheriff department here, but I was calling for help from y'all.
Okay, are you there with this?
They're here in my house right now.
Okay, I'll let you go and you talk to them.
No, hold on, wait a second, sir.
You can hang up, Carlos.
For what? You're there with the deputy, correct?
No, hold on, okay?
You can hang
Hold
up.
on for what?
Just 1 second, okay?
What's up?
I got some paperwork. Can you grab that Bible, please?
Yeah. Hey, I just need your name so we can get out of here. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah, it
Okay,
was
what was the damage?
a dent, I believe.
Well, what about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect. What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. You're not in trouble. I just need to touch.
Massey.
Huh?
Massey.
What happened? You have an ID? That'd make things so much easier. I just need just a driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
One task at a time here.
Okay, let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID
you
is.
can that stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
Just check on her.
Let me get this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
This is where things go south. Now keep in mind, everything up to this point has been relatively calm, but Sonya's been noticeably nervous but still very cooperative. And quite frankly, I'm not seeing anything to give any indication that she's a threat to anybody. Now if you see it differently, let me know down in the comments below.
Alright. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Wait for your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of
Better not. That's where you got all in your face.
Sangamon Sheriff's Office must really be scraping the bottom of the barrel. I try to be fair on every video to the best of my ability, but give me a break, right? Obviously, Grayson escalates this situation. What on God's great green earth justifies this type of response? I mean, good Lord, it is water. And a freaking bar island is between them and her. In no way, shape, or form are their lives in danger at this point. I would even bet there's next to no chance that water, even if it was thrown, goes anywhere near them. I mean, my Lord, are your legs broke at this point? Can you not take a step back? Let's keep in mind he completely ignored the fact that he has pepper spray and a taser on him. Not that even those responses would have been warranted. And we're going to get to some backstory on that piece of... And we're going to get to some backstory on Grayson in just a minute. But look at this. She is ducking, so even if this was a scenario where she was a threat to them, it's clearly over at this point. There is 100% no justification for this type of response. The rest of the clip went exactly how you think it did, and I can't show it here. Now, Sean has been charged with first degree, which may be a hard conviction to get because I'm not seeing all the elements being met. I would consider some type of second degree charge being much more fitting and all but guaranteeing justice for Sonya. And Sangamon has quickly responded by firing this turd, but y'all aren't out of the water in my book. Because Grayson should have never been allowed to become a police officer to begin with. And you failed these people. The sheriff's office had no excuse to hire this individual, and here's why. Now, some people are making a big deal about him working at 6 different police stations in 4 years, but everybody needs to understand 3 of those police stations were just part-time work. And as far as we're all aware, he had no reported incidents except 2 complaints and 1 disciplinary action. But when you add in the 2 drinking charges he got in 2014 and 2015, along with his general discharge for a serious offense, it paints a much better picture. How does someone like that, with all these inconsistencies in his work history and in his behavior, make it through the screening process? I mean, it's obvious when you look at this guy's history on paper, things are very sporadic. It's clear to me he has a history of making poor decisions. I mean, he obviously can't handle stress because he wasn't even good enough to finish his military career making E4. I mean, seriously, they saw all of this stuff within his history and said, yeah, that's our guy. This is the type of person we want to represent us in the community. He couldn't hack it 3 or 4 years in the Army, so he's clearly a good law enforcement candidate. He couldn't hack it in the military, so clearly he's good cop material. I mean, y'all either knew all this and didn't care, or you didn't know and now we all know you don't properly screen candidates. What an absurd hire. Where did you find this guy, MSP? Now, everything on this channel is alleged and not to be considered factual. I encourage everybody to do their own research and form their own opinion. But did I miss something here? How does anything in this guy's history scream model deputy? And don't comment anything about stress because this dude didn't even deploy. His sleeve is slicker than an owl turd. But let's address the elephant in the room, because this is how an open conversation works. Some people are saying this story has a racial component. And let's not act like that's a thing that doesn't happen. And if you know something I don't, like he made a post or a comment on social media, okay, I'm wrong. But I don't see that as a factor here. But I do see prejudice, because he allegedly called Sonya a crazy B-word. And after what happened, he offered no aid to her either. In fact, his comments after all this were so disgusting I can't even really talk about it. But I see this as prejudice against the mentally unwell. And I see it in stories daily. It appears law enforcement has some sort of issue when dealing with people like this. And quite frankly, it needs to stop. This blanket one-size-fits-all for every scenario crap needs to stop in law enforcement. And honestly, the officers that handle cases well when dealing with people like this don't get the proper recognition. A calm tone and a calm demeanor will work wonders. This heavy-handed approach towards everyone is an absolute joke. And it's time for all of us to address the lack of training in this area with law enforcement. I mean, if it costs more, then it costs more. What was Sonya's life worth to her family? Every city, county, and state in this entire country wastes millions and millions of dollars on pork spending. We can afford to pay for better training. We can afford to better fill these gaps so law enforcement has a better idea of what they're walking into when they find themselves in this situation. We can afford to screen better. Grayson had no business on even being selected to become a police officer. But stuff like this is inexcusable. Her life mattered and now it's gone because of this turd. And I mean, if you see any of these things differently, you can let me know down in the comments below. Y'all be safe now.